Yeah, it was because I'd never been in that position before. That's why I was like,
yeah, because most people feel vulnerable to the hook sweep when they're on their knees from there, so they stand up so that you can't sweep them.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening this week. Yeah.
All right, so we've done seated guard retention. Now we'll go over open guard retention when we're facing in. So if Mike is passing my guard here, I can end up in this position because I just pull it and I lay on my back because I'm confident in my guard. Or maybe Mike pressured my seated guard either by circling, so just circle, and then maybe he's beating me. I'm like, oh darn. When I go to my back and I put my legs between us, and we end up in this open guard position, right? So when we're playing guard, for Mike to pass my guard, he needs to get inside my knee and elbow space. So at all times, well, pretty well all times, my knees are going to be tucked into my arms as much as I can and wide. All right. My arms are going to be on the outside, so I can be framing myself, hugging my legs, right? Or putting my elbows on the mat to stop my legs getting turned. I don't like to have them on the inside, all right? Because now I can't do like a lot of the stuff I just told you, all right? So sure, having your arms on the inside accomplishes the need of elbow space being closed, but now we can't frame around legs. If they circle, we can't frame them very easily, right? I can't hug my legs. If my abs are getting tired, I can sit here and hug my legs as long as my partner's not pressuring me, right? So there's a bunch of reasons why I want my arms on the outside. My legs are going to be alternating. So preferably, I don't want my legs both in the same plane. So I don't want both my feet down or both my feet up, all right? I want one or the other usually. So it's harder for Mike to control my legs. It gives me more space to pummel my legs when I do this, all right? So if Mike was to try and grab this leg, right? If I keep my leg up, for him to pin this leg is going to take effort. And as he does so, I can alternate this leg, right? If he tries to stack both my legs, I can put this one up and this one back down. But if they were both down and Mike tries to pin them, now it's going to be hard for me to fight if my feet are both up. Like now, and you're going to go underneath now? Yeah, like as if you're going to push them over my head. Yeah, now it's harder for me to fight because they're both in the same plane, right? So I'm trying to keep both my feet in opposite planes. So when he tries to control one, like he can only really control one leg at a time, not both. All right. So the first thing we're going to go over when we're doing open guard retention is obviously positioning, but then next is going to be a grip fight, right? So Mike is going to be trying to control my legs. And since we're going around the legs retention, the second he wins that battle of controlling my legs, he's going to make an angle where he can start passing my guard. So I need to know this when I'm playing on bottom so that I don't allow this to happen. So one of the same things that we did with the seated guard, we're going to do when we're laying down, right? So I want to force Mike to one side. If I'm here, now as I'm grip fighting, Mike can pass to either direction now just as quick and unpredictable for me, right? So my goal is I want to make it so that I can predict where Mike's going to go and it's easier for me to stop him. So I can do this a number of different ways. I can win the pummeling battle, which we'll go over in a second, and move my hips out to one side. I can place my feet on him and move my hips to one side, or I can plant my elbow and move my butt to one side. But my goal is to force Mike to one side, all right? That way, if Mike was to try and pass my guard, he's going to be either passing towards all of my limbs, or if he tries to go behind me, I'm going to have way more time and space to block him and stop him when he changes directions, all right? So before we even get into the pummeling, we need to know how to move ourselves in this position. So how we shouldn't move, in my opinion, is so you're just going to stay at a distance and you're going to circle around my guard. So how I shouldn't do it is placing my feet down and moving to try and face Mike. Because if I do that, I have nothing between me and Mike. If he's to crash into side control or whatever,
Do you want me to crash?
yeah. I'm way behind now because my feet were on the ground. Like we talked about, we want to keep our knee and elbow closed, all right? If my feet go on the ground, I can't keep my knee and elbow closed unless I sit up, all right? So I'm keeping my knee and my elbows closed here. So now if Mike circles, even if I don't face Mike, if Mike circles now and falls on top of me, my knees are now between us where I can keep Mike off and I can attack Mike. Opposed to before when he circled and I placed my feet down. Now if he drops in that space, maybe my elbows are in, but my knees are not. And now I'm in the bottom of side control instead, where he can attack me and I can only defend pretty much for the most part. All right. So there's a little drill you can do to get good at moving in the guard. And that's going to be, I call it the clock drill. Basically, when I'm on my back, he's not going to grab me because if he can get close enough to grab me, I can grab him back, right? For the sake of this drill, he's just going to circle. And I'm going to keep my feet pointed at Mike the whole time. Yeah, keep going. Here. Right? And as he's going, I'm just circling. So at any point, if he was to crash on top of me, my feet are always between us. All right? If you're not as flexible and you can't just keep your legs over your head like that, another way you can do this is I'll plant my elbows, and as he moves, just go slow, is I just lift my hips and I push with my elbows, almost like I'm rocking, but not very much. And now I can just stay in front of him this way. All right? So if you're not able to like go upside down very easily or have your feet over your head, this is another option. It's not as efficient.
The clock works way better.
Yeah, it's not as efficient or as fast. But if you're not as flexible, you don't have a choice, right?
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
So on that note, person on top, when they're trying to pass our guard, if they don't grab us, they're never, like when we have good positioning like we just did, they're never going to pass our guard if they don't grab us to try and pass, right? So that's what we're going to get into next is the pummeling battle. So now I'm trying to force aside, and I'm going to try and get the top foot position. So Mike's goal when he grabs my legs is to get the top hand position here. So he has the top hand position, which means that he's controlling my legs, and he's going to be able to make an angle where now he can start pushing my knees away and passing my guard or running to north-south, right? So my goal is to get top foot position. Boom. Boom. So now here, he's no longer controlling my legs very well because I have the top foot position on his forearms. All right? Like I can literally lift myself up off of Mike if I wanted to from here and move myself. Right? So this is my goal. So now that I've pummeled my feet onto the top position, I know that Mike can no longer easily control my legs. I can start trying to make grips and making a guard on Mike. Right? His goal, if he wins the battle, is the second he gets top hand position. So that's bottom. Yep. I mean, you don't have to face your hands out. Yeah. Top hand position. Now his goal, the second he wins this, now his goal is to make an angle. Yeah, boom. Where now he's winning. Right? So that's the battle going on here. So again, when I'm pummeling, I don't pummel both at the same time because if I go up with both, he can pin my legs over my head. And now this is not good for me, right? Also, if I try and go under with both feet, he could pin them both to my butt. And now I'm not going to get out either, right? So I'm doing one at a time, all right? If I'm able to go over his arm, so maybe he's tucking his elbow, if I can go over his arm, I'll go over his arm to his top position here, or I'll go under to the top position. It's whatever he gives me, right? So maybe I try and go over and he blocks with a stiff arm, right? Then I can go under to the top position. Maybe I try and go under and he drops his elbow. Now I'll go over instead, right? All of this I'm doing while keeping my knees wide, right? Even better if Mike just backs up a little bit. Even better if we're in this position and he's trying to pass before he even gets grips, I'm circling my feet. Yeah, I mean, don't necessarily circle, just stay in front of me. So before he even gets grips, try and grab my legs. Like I'm just circling my feet right away. It's really hard and annoying for Mike to try and get grips when my legs are constantly moving. All right? And then again, I force this side. And now this is an easier grip fighting battle for me to win. All right? Because now I can start grabbing him. I can start getting different guards on him. And if he tries to pass, all of my limbs are facing Mike right now. All right? However, we're not always going to win this battle, and it doesn't take very long for Mike to get an upgrade from here if he does win the battle. So he gets the top hand position, and he makes an angle to my hip line here. So you're not necessarily going to step that leg, just circle to the hip line. Yeah, here. All right? When Mike forces the side, again, I want to move my butt out so that I'm still forcing him towards the same side that I'm facing, right? That's better than this. If I'm here like this, now I'm facing the ceiling. When he circles this side, I can only really put one hand on Mike, right? So that means that I'm not going to be able to be very offensive, and it's harder for me to keep Mike away if I'm only using one arm. So ideally, ideally as Mike wins, right? Yeah, circle. I'm moving my butt out, and I'm framing the closest thing to me with this arm. So if Mike steps this leg forward, I'm going to frame Mike's leg. If Mike bends down with his upper body and has the legs back, I'm going to frame his bicep. This arm here is always either framing his neck or his shoulder here. And I'm keeping my knees to my chest at all times here. All right? So now from here, if I try and retain my guard, it's going to be easier for me now, opposed to before when we were like this and he drops down. Now I'm only using one arm. I'm not facing him 100%. And now it's easier for him to turn me away, right? So this is not as ideal. So as Mike passes, I want to force aside here. And now I'm ready to use my both hands now. So now when he tries to crash on top of me, it's really hard. All right? And then from here, I'm either going to try and frame or free my inside leg or my outside leg. All right? Being on my side facing him allows me to use all of my limbs. And since I'm on my side, it's harder now for Mike to turn me away. Try and turn me away from here. I just constantly keep my butt away. It's really hard. Maybe not really hard, but it's hard for Mike to turn me away.
Yeah, I can't turn you away. Like, it's much more difficult, especially in this position.
Yeah. So from here, we're going to do an under pummel first. So if Mike's not being disciplined or I'm just savvy here, this hand is going to grab Mike's hand that's grabbing my hand, and I'm just going to strip the grip, keeping my knee to my chest. And now from here, I have many options. If Mike's staying the way he is, I'll just grab a reverse de la Hiva hook. And now I can immediately start attacking Mike for whatever I want to attack him with.
I thought you were throwing me down for sure.
All right. And because his leg was close, I was able to get a reverse de la Hiva hook. Here. Yep. If I strip this grip and Mike's leg's not close, I can just go foot on the bicep. And then I can square myself back up. And now I've reset the position and Mike didn't pass my guard, right? So here, he makes an angle, frame, right? And if I can, I'll even try and over pummel here, where I have the top foot position again now. So now Mike feels like, do you feel like you're going to be able to push that knee away from my chest here like this?
No.
You're probably going to let go.
I would let go for sure.
Go underneath again.
For the demonstration.
And then push the foot down.
Yeah.
And then maybe start from here again, right?
Yeah.
I'll strip the grip. And then now from here, if I can reach,
Yeah.
right? I'll just start gripping them up now. All right, once I free a leg.
Yeah.
He makes an angle. I move to the side. Here. Now, if I feel like I just can't free this leg because he's doing too good of a job controlling it, I'll use my outside leg now. So I'm going to open my leg really wide. And now if his elbow is up like this, I'll go underneath. And now I can push Mike away, free this foot, and face Mike again. So again, he makes an angle. Here, I open my leg. If he drops his elbow so I can't go under, Then I'll go over top to Mike's shoulder. And I'll push Mike away. If I push Mike, put your weight on me. If I push Mike and I feel like I can go reverse de la Riva, then maybe I'll go reverse de la Riva. If his leg is away, then maybe I'll just go back to the feet on the biceps. Right? Always upper body, lower body. Whatever is closest to me is what I'll kind of grip up on, right? So we're using the combination of freeing the inside leg and freeing the outside leg, right? The more he tries to shut down one, the easier it is to open up the other, right? So if we're here, he grabs my legs and he goes to one side here and I push out. The more he tries to shut down this leg, the easier it is for me to free this one now. So like really try and like, yeah, see this? The more he tries to shut down this one, maybe he's going to start moving this way and like, yeah, now it's easier for me to remove that one, right? So the more of his resources he puts towards shutting down one of my legs, the easier it is to use the other one. All right. So that's kind of like using the under pummel and then using like the high or low pummel on the outside. We still got lots more to go yet.